Salut à tous. On est de retour sur ce jeu. Enfin Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. On va se lancer sur la dernière enquête. Et c'est parti. J'avais mis en pause ce jeu un peu, le temps de refaire certaines enquêtes pour les trophées. Puis après j'ai commencé d'autres jeux, donc j'avais plus trop le temps de le faire, puis j'avais plus le goût de streamer, donc ça explique cette longue attente, mais on va enfin le terminer. Ça me fait plaisir de revenir dessus.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have? Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Well, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, 'cause I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Je peux aller à Scotland Yard pour aller voir le gamin qui se fait arrêter du coup. Sifflet de train? Non. Je crois que c'était ça le dernier truc. Sifflet de train, c'était le second. Ah non, oui, le dernier truc, c'était Kew Garden, c'est vrai. Bon, allez, on va aller à Half Moon Street. D'abord, parce que je pense qu'on aura des indices qui nous permettront de faire plus de choix à Scotland Yard.
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
T'inquiète. Faut aller où? J'ai peur. Hein. Il fait noir.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stout fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweler by trade.
Tiens, lui, il n'aura vraiment rien d'important. Hein. Je peux même pas le faire carré pour l'analyser.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Ouais, donc il a rien du tout, quoi. Je veux dire, il y a eu un feu d'artifice, ils ont eu peur, ils sont partis, et ils pensent que c'est eux.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
C'était sombre. Étonnant.
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
On examine le corps d'une des victimes.
Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die. He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound.
Ça donne pas envie. Hein. Tiens.
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there.
On va voir son pote. Oh, il y a un R à placer.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
Bien visé, hein. Headshot. Ouais, je l'avais vu en plus.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans sa poche?
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Intéressant, intéressant, intéressant. Une clé en métal trouvée sur la dépouille de Kenneth Butler. Un morceau de bois retrouvé coincé entre les pavés près du cadavre de Kenneth Butler. Qui êtes-vous, monsieur?
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Varro reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective, gentleman? I've heard of you. And, well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Examinons le bonhomme. Médaille. Un vétéran de guerre. Besoin de s'appuyer, pas de folle. Ok, donc peut-être qu'à cause de cette maladie, il n'aurait pas pu faire le meurtre, ou en tout cas pas tout seul. C'est quoi le troisième? Non mais attendez, je suis vraiment bloqué là-dessus ou quoi? Il y a forcément un truc sur son visage. S'il nous le montre, c'est pas pour rien. J'ai l'impression qu'il a écrit le mot vu en premier. Ouais, vétéran de guerre, ouais, je sais ça. Non mais... Comment je fais pour être bloqué là-dessus? Oh, je l'avais pas vu ça. Hein. C'était trop sombre pour que je le voie
Could
le
you
bouton
tell us
manquant.
everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment.
Donc 2 armes différentes, je suppose.
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Ah, le retour du triangle. 2 coups de feu différents, 2 victimes. Ah non. Monsieur Turner a affirmé être resté à la fenêtre de son appartement jusqu'à l'arrivée de la police. Pourtant, Marot a précisé n'avoir vu personne à la fenêtre. Je suis d'accord. Est-ce qu'on peut fouiller l'appart?
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Ouais.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
Il peut pas tenir debout tout seul. Il titube. Il l'a pas fait tout seul en tout cas. S'il est dans le coup.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
Il est très grand aussi. Miette. Poussière de papier.
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
On va fouiller un peu avant d'aller à la fenêtre.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago. The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here. These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Il va falloir aller l'interroger là-dessus.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre? Ah. Oh, oh, oh.
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Après, en vrai, il habite dans la rue. Ah, très bien pu se casser il y a quelques jours. Mais c'est quand même une
Mr.
heureuse
Turner
coïncidence.
was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler.
Ouais.
Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Oh, oh, oh. Là, contrairement aux autres enquêtes, là on en a un peu plus compliqué. Pas énorme non plus. Non, j'avais pas vu. En fait, j'ai l'impression... Je sais pas si les deux, c'est pareil. Non. Mais non! Oh là là, la lourdeur. Alors, je suis pas sûr hein, de ce que je fais. Donc il se lève, ça c'est sûr. Il a entendu les coups de feu, il va par la fenêtre. Il récupère quelque chose sur le corps. En fait, il récupère quelque chose sur le corps. Mais là, il prend... Mais de toute façon, il range la truc cassée, donc il y a forcément... Ouais, vas-y. On tente. C'est long. Heureusement qu'il avance rapide et heureusement qu'on peut déplacer la caméra parce que sinon...
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Genre Sherlock, il a compris ça comme
I
ça.
can see
C'est
prints
fou.
from
Hein.
greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look. Well
What?
now, what a find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
On a des questions à poser là. Hein. Monsieur. Monsieur le voleur.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes. Well,
What?
I'm able to move very quickly despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Claudication, je sais pas ce que ça veut dire. Clé de porte, c'est non. Contradiction. Bah ouais, contradiction, c'était tout à l'heure. Du coup, c'est clou...
Well, I'm able
Claudication,
to
là.
move very quickly
Mais je sais pas ce que ça
despite
veut
my
dire.
age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Ah mais claudication, c'est pas sa maladie.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you
Arrête de
told
mentir.
us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Encore carré. Ah. Bracelet antique cette fois.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler. And when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Examiner la scène de crime et parler aux témoins. Donc, je dois encore aller voir le vendeur de fleurs. Interroger Layton. Ouais, c'est à Scotland Yard, ça. Enquêter sur le bracelet antique. Donc ça, c'est chez soi, je pense. Donc, on va aller descendre. Voir le fleuriste, voilà. Le vendeur de fleurs, ça s'appelle un fleuriste. Il est juste à droite, il me semble. Et oui. La fleuriste, d'ailleurs.
Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Ok. Retourner à Baker Street, regarder le bijou. Avant d'aller à Scotland Yard. Oh! C'est quoi ici? Ah, je pense que c'est les lettres des trucs que j'ai refaits. Ouais, c'est les trucs que j'ai refaits pour les trophées. I will search the bracelet. Un bracelet antique. Décoré de tête de mouflon. Donc ça doit être dans... Encyclopédie, voilà. Alors économie, histoire grecque. Non. Quoi? Mais il me semblait que c'était les Grecs. Ah. Ces magnifiques bijoux antiques ne sont qu'une partie de la collection Trésors hellénistique. En illustration, un bracelet, un collier et une bague, tous 3 en or massif, représentant 5 têtes de mouflons. Les 5 mouflons de Mytilène ont disparu du musée depuis 1885. Ok, ils ont été volés.
Here it is. I need to continue my research in my archives.
Ah ouais? Élément d'une parure de bijoux appartenant à la collection des trésors hellénistiques volés en 1885, tiens.
That is...
Non. The Strand. Scandaleux larcin. Un voleur de trésors... Non, un vol de trésors hellénistiques a eu lieu hier soir, alors qu'ils étaient acheminés en cab depuis le British Museum à destination de l'exposition de beaux-arts de Glasford. Kenneth Butler, prêteur sur gage à Church Street, a contacté Scotland Yard cette nuit pour signaler qu'un individu avait tenté de lui vendre une collection d'art historique. La police a depuis appréhendé l'homme, un voleur professionnel du nom de Vincent Foley, qui cherchait à quitter Londres par voie maritime. Il a été formellement reconnu par le cocher du cab transportant ladite collection. Vincent Foley a refusé d'avouer l'emplacement du reste du trésor. Il a été incarcéré, mais on ignore encore où se trouve son bulletin. Donc, il était peut-être complice et il a balancé son pote.
Here it is. One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
Vas-y, il est beau gosse lui. Hein. Mais attends, je vais aller à Scotland Yard. Ça fait trop longtemps que je le repousse, Scotland Yard. Il n'y a rien à faire.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Alors, on va aller voir les affaires.
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
Interessante. Est-ce qu'il y a moyen de... Non. Il n'y a pas moyen de voir s'il y a des traces de balles pour voir s'il a été utilisé. Ça laisse toujours des traces quand on tire. Oh! 2 balles manquantes.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
Ouais, mais les 2 coups de feu avaient l'air différents.
A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
Attends.
A cheap watch, bought with... These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
Mais c'est pas un gamin, le type? Alors, des coups de feu différents, le revolver... Coup de feu simultané. Si Turner avait entendu une différence entre les 2 coups de feu, c'est qu'en réalité 3 coups ont été tirés. Un premier isolé, puis 2 simultanément juste après. Si Turner a entendu un contraste entre les 2 coups de feu, c'est qu'ils ont été tirés à différents endroits de Half Moon Street. Mais l'un n'empêche pas l'autre. Si. Après, moi j'aurais dit 2 coups de feu, mais avec 2 armes différentes. Mais visiblement, c'est pas le cas. Mince. déjà tout fait ici. Alors, Antiquité. Bon. Ah si. Je pensais qu'il n'y avait plus rien du tout. Mais visiblement si. Perpétré par une seule personne, tiens. Intéressant. Du coup, non, il n'y avait pas deux armes différentes, peut-être. Après, on a peut-être moyen de... Les dépositions des témoins... Ouais. Après, peut-être qu'on va trouver d'autres indices qui nous feront penser que c'est plusieurs... Ouais. Là, c'est bon, on a tout regardé. Il y a plusieurs personnes. Il faut peut-être avoir plus d'indices. Non. Je suppose qu'il n'y a personne à... Ouais, il n'y a personne à observer ici. Les victimes, elles sont encore sur la scène du crime.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
D'accord, donc c'est bien un adulte. C'est pour ça les clopes et tout ça. Je pensais que c'était un enfant, mais... Et que c'était un ami de Wiggins. Mais non, en fait, c'est son frère. Il a grandi dans la rue. De toute façon, la famille de Wiggins, ils sont pas très riches. Donc, a résisté à l'arrestation parce qu'il a une tête brûlée. Oh, gratte-papier. Oh, le tatouage de la prison.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work, and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head, and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead, and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, Are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Ou ses chaussures.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Co-détenu à Westgate.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Ok, vieille connaissance. Attends. Les témoignages. L'homme imaginaire. La personne que Leighton Chapman décrit dans ce témoignage est un pur produit de son imagination. Créé pour le disculper. Attends, on va sûrement trouver autre chose. Attends, témoignage de Leighton. C'est quoi son témoignage? Dès son arrivée, il s'est emparé d'une arme qu'il tenait. Bah ouais, attends. Vieille connaissance, butin. Connaissez sa victime. Non mais attends, il y a tout qui va sur lui là, le pauvre. Waouh! Je peux déjà le condamner. Leighton Chapman a commis un double assassinat sur Half Moon Street, motivé par une vieille inimitié. C'est pas inimité. Bon, une inimitié mutuelle entre Leighton Chapman et Brian Vercotti. Absoutre Chapman. Bien que coupable de meurtre, Leighton n'est guère qu'un jeune homme naïf et facilement impressionnable. Sans lui, son frère cadet Wiggins se retrouverait livré à lui-même. La peine de Leighton en sera allégée. Condamné Chapman. Leighton Chapman a beau être jeune, c'est déjà un assassin patenté qui a tué un ex-camarade de prison à cause d'une vieille rancœur. Il mérite d'être incarcéré pour le restant de ses jours. Donc Wiggins, son nom de famille c'est Chapman, ok. On va absoudre Mais après, on va refaire.
Leighton
Parce que je pense pas que ce soit juste.
You did commit a double murder in Half Moon Street. It was due to a long-held grudge against one of your victims, Brian Vercotti. However, your brother Wiggins came to me. He needs you as much as you need him. I have faith that you will not err again. So I have decided that you shall avoid a harsher fate.
But no! It didn't happen like that!
We have solid evidence, Chapman. You cannot deny it. A crime is a crime, but Mr. Holmes has convinced us to ease your sentence. Don't make us regret it.
Mr. Holmes! But you promised to save him!
Ouais, double assassinat, c'est faux. Changer d'avis. Voilà, c'était juste pour voir, et de toute façon pour le platine il faut que je fasse toutes les fins, donc. Par contre il faut en trouver des indices, hein, parce que là il y a tout qui dit qu'il est coupable. Hein. Il y a homme imaginaire, il y a double assassinat, enfin double assassinat de toute façon c'en est un. Mais il y a preuve accablante, motif de Leighton et un homme imaginaire qui va à son encontre. Alors on va se TP au prêteur sur gage. Ah déjà 10 indices sur 18 hein. Oh, faut aller boire un petit coup, faire du poker avant d'aller avant de faire Red Dead Redemption 2. S'entraîner un peu au poker. Parce que oui, j'ai commandé Red Dead Redemption 2. Donc hier, j'ai récupéré en main propre Little Nightmares 2. Donc après ce jeu, on va faire Little Nightmares 2 et ensuite on fera du Red Dead Redemption.
A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor.
Oh, attends. Oh, oh, oh. Pas mal.
This necklace belongs to the 5 Rams of Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
Mais il était tellement pas caché le truc, mais un vol comme ça, si énorme, mais tu le caches, mais là tu vois le sol, bah tu l'ouvres, tu creuses en dessous et tu le caches quoi.
It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations.
C'est tellement pas discret. Pas professionnel ça.
It look
Ah. Je sais pas que je pourrais récupérer la lettre. Salut Kenneth. Je me rappelle que tu m'as parlé de 3 antiquités grecques, des bijoux en or avec des têtes de mouflons. Tu les as toujours? Figure-toi que j'ai trouvé un daim huppé qui raffole de ses breloques. Il est prêt à raquer une petite fortune. Je peux te faire rencontrer cette tirelire sur pattes contre une part du gâteau. Je t'attendrai dimanche soir au carrefour de Great Alley et de Half Moon Street avant le feu d'artifice. Et donc la personne les a tués. Intéressant. Les bijoux de Butler, 2 victimes. Mobile le butin. Le crime de Half Moon Street est peut-être lié à la recherche des trésors. Monsieur Turner a ramassé le bracelet juste après le meurtre, mais il manque encore la bague. Leighton Chapman connaissait sa victime et a pu tuer pour un motif personnel. Bah non, le butin. Non, triangle. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres choses? Non, il n'y a rien d'autre. Et je trouve ça quand même très bizarre. Après, dans la panique...
A flare pistol. A flare pistol.
Dans la panique, il a pu récupérer la bague, mais il n'a pas fait attention. Alors, c'était quoi le bijou que l'autre a essayé de voler? Je sais pas. Il y a peut-être un échange de tirs entre Kenneth et Brian sur Half Moon. Il faut examiner le corps et reconstituer la scène. Ok. Go go Power Ranger. Y'a quelqu'un?
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Mais attends, mais lui... Attends, tu vas te calmer, toi?
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Tu te tais, ce serait bien. Sélectionner le tireur. Pour moi, le tireur, c'est lui. Parce que lui... Il y a eu un échange de tirs, on part de ce principe. Lui, il s'est pris un headshot. Pendant que lui, on sait qu'il a souffert pendant assez longtemps. Pour moi, lui, c'est le premier tireur. Ouais, voilà. Oh, attends. En fait, il faut voir.
A fairly long pole.
Est-ce qu'il y a une balle quelque part? Est-ce que là-bas il y a une balle?
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
Ben, on va prendre la perche là-bas. Oh, Wiggins! T'es encore là, mon
I'll
pote.
do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Beau gosse. Il est trop sympa, ce gamin. Soit dans ce jeu ou dans l'autre. J'aime trop.
This should be useful.
Ah, donc non, ce serait l'autre qui est tiré. Et ce serait qui l'ait tué alors?
Nothing interesting here.
Quoi? Ah, donc voilà. C'est bien ce que je disais. Ah, et donc en fait c'était un piège. Attends, on va lire la lettre. Donc en fait Brian Vercotti, il aurait piégé pour voler les bijoux. Je pense que c'est ça du coup. Brian Vercotti, il voulait tous les bijoux pour lui. Attends. J'ai pas moyen d'utiliser. Attends. faut que j'aille là-bas. Il me saoule ce cadavre là. Ah voilà, il fallait que je fasse la combinaison. Mais c'est sérieux là, je trouve rien. Mais... Il y a forcément une balle ici, mais je la trouve pas. Ah! Eh ben, enfin quoi.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
Alors, tu... Alors, 2 victimes, Non, c'est un 3e coup de feu de victime. Donc là, échange de tirs. Et donc voilà, c'est ce que je disais. Il y a un changement sur le double assassinat. C'est pas forcément... C'est pas forcément pareil. Sauf que là, contrairement à d'habitude, il fallait attendre bien plus longtemps. Parce que d'habitude, tu observes tes indices, tu trouves une conclusion, puis ensuite tu retournes observer tes indices, tu trouves l'autre. Là, il fallait attendre quand même un peu dans l'affaire. Hein. Donc, échange de tir, Kenneth et Brian sont morts en s'entretuant, chacun muni d'une arme. L'une des deux a disparu. Ouais, du coup, ça va pas en fait avec un homme imaginaire. Non, casse-toi. Voilà. Le témoignage de Layton, selon lequel un homme en veste était présent sur les lieux, devient crédible. Les 3 coups de feu prouvent qu'un 2e revolver a été utilisé et il n'a pas été retrouvé. Trajet de Marot.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
Ok. Oh, on joue Marot, tiens. Where are you, Mr. Holmes?
No, this is not how I walked at the time of the crime. I was more attentive. Let's start over again.
Ok. Je sais pas comment je dois marcher, je sais pas.
No, this...
En fait, ça veut dire que je dois choper Sherlock Holmes, c'est ça?
I can
Oh.
see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Mais
Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
il était tellement mal caché là. La première fois c'était pas mal. Hein. Là faut le savoir qu'il y a un bout.
No, this is not how I walked at the...
Mais quoi? Mais ouais, donc en fait il voit tout le temps, c'est ça? Je suppose que Sherlock est là? Pas du tout. Oh!
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't...
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
Bah je t'avais pas vu là. Hein. Témoignage de Layton, recoin. Si l'on postule qu'il y avait une autre personne sur Half Moon Street au moment du crime, elle ne pouvait ni reculer ni avancer. Sa seule issue était de grimper. Constitue l'action en simulant l'éclat du feu d'artifice décrit par Layton, tentons d'escalader le mur. Bah vas-y. Retrouver un lance-fusée et du matériel d'escalade. Le matériel d'escalade, je sais pas. Hein. Le lance-fusée, j'ai. Mais le matériel d'escalade... Waouh. Alors récupérer le lance-fusée. Qui sait, il y a peut-être du matériel d'escalade aussi dedans.
This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks.
Les instruments permettant d'escalader le mur, ils peuvent être où? Oh! Tiens, je l'avais pas fouillé ça.
These
Ah bah ils sont
tools
là.
are exactly what I need to climb the wall.
There they are. Du coup, on va se TP sur les lieux du crime. Attends. Half Moon Street. Allons-y. Allons-y, let's go. Déduction, j'ai rien d'autre. Bon, je me suis trompé de touche au final, donc on va pas voir si j'ai rien d'autre. Alors, Monsieur Marrow. J'arrive. J'arrive, Monsieur Marrow.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just
J'avoue.
watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, Street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh, no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that.
Can't hardly be stolen.
Mais il est chiant, lui. Lâche-le un peu. C'est incroyable, ça.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can.
Oh là là, le catch me if you can.
The streetlights fall directly on this wall. Not an ideal spot.
Il faut que je passe devant Polly. Attends, mais elle est où, Polly? Ah non, mince. On m'a ramené au début, je crois. Ah non. On m'a ramené devant Polly.
The moon illuminates this wall. Anyone trying to climb it would be easily spotted by Constable Marrow.
Mais comment tu le vois que c'est... Moi, je le vois tout noir.
This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
Donc j'avais 3 chances. Et je me suis trompé les 2 premières fois. J'ai cru que c'était une baguette magique au départ. Wow. J'ai appuyé sur R2. Mais t'es trompé de touche.
I can barely see anything.
T'entends, Watson. Je fais que confondre L2 et R2, hein, c'est fou.
Are you there?
Ça devient long.
I should try climbing faster.
Quoi? Ouais, mais j'étais pas prêt au départ.
I can barely see anything.
Oh! On doit glisser avant que je puisse
Are
appuyer.
you there? Where is he? My God, a man can't just disappear like that. Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
Fais attention, hein.
This is the back door of the building with the attic floor that you required, Mr. Holmes.
Vas-y, mon pote. Il n'y a que 18 indices dans cette enquête et j'en avais déjà trouvé 10 au moment d'accuser faussement le frère de Wiggins. Donc ça voudrait dire que elle est plus courte que ce que je pensais.
It's empty. Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic, but in his haste he ripped his jacket.
Il n'y a rien d'autre. Veste. Tissu bon marché. Fibre noire.
A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope. We can conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch.
On va quand même finir de fouiller cette zone. Ah, inspecter le grenier achevé. Donc il n'y a rien, je pense. Rien d'autre. À part la trappe, tiens. Ah, mais la trappe c'est pour sortir. Ouais, donc en fait il n'a pas escaladé. Elle a crié, il est parti là-bas. Ce qui est logique. Puisqu'elle a crié, ça veut dire qu'il était déjà... Il était venu comme ça. Donc elle l'a vu. Après il aurait pu faire un demi-tour, certes, mais... Attends, triangle. Un grimpeur... Confirmé. Linton est innocent. Nous avons corroboré le témoignage de Leighton sur lequel le mystérieux individu à la veste aurait participé. Ouais. Position des témoins et l'arme du crime pointe. Ouais, voilà, Leighton est innocent, mon pote. Ensuite, R1 à 10. Non. Alors là, on va retourner à Baker Street. Continuer. Allez, un petit microscope. On va aller caresser les chiens, même si j'ai déjà eu le trophée pour ça.
Hello, Toby. All you need now is a shawl and a mop cap, and you could be Mrs.
Allez.
Hudson's youngest.
Ça faisait longtemps. Bonjour, madame. J'avais manqué ou pas? On examine.
Let us take a closer look.
Oh,
It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch! Holmes!
Oh, don't make such a fuss. One little hair.
pas mal.
Human hair is significantly thinner than the black sample. The horse hair is thinner than the hair
Ouais.
that we found.
Différent aussi.
So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
Un éléphant? What? Les éléphants, ça a des poils maintenant? Un poil noir et épais trouvé sur la veste déchirée. Cette dernière appartenait à un homme qui a fui les lieux du crime avec une remarquable agilité. Un grimpeur confirmé. Peut-être un acrobate de cire qui est parvenu à escalader un mur de 10 mètres de haut en quelques secondes. Il a abandonné une veste sur laquelle a été trouvé un poil appartenant à un animal exotique de grande taille. C'est quand même... Ils sont quand même allés chercher loin alors. La personne aperçue uniquement par Chapman a fui les lieux en escaladant le mur. C'est un acrobate confirmé. Le criminel a pris une des armes des cadavres. Non, casse-toi. Ça voudrait dire qu'en fait, on va reprendre la lettre. Ça veut dire que Brian Vercotti et quelqu'un d'autre était dans le coup. Je pense. Attends, c'est qui s'est pris la balle dans la tête? Et du coup, l'autre personne qui était dans le coup, elle a trahi Brian et elle l'a tué, je pense. Faire quoi là? Charger Wiggins de localiser le bon cirque. Donc il faut retourner là-bas du coup. Parce que Wiggins est là-bas maintenant. Allez, cours, monsieur Holmes, cours. N'empêche, on fait tout ça la nuit, hein. Tous ces TP, tous ces interrogatoires, tous ces indices, etc.
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
Hoi. Franchement, faut que t'arrêtes
It
avec
would
lui.
be my pleasure.
Eh ben, tu m'aiderais bien en te taisant. Sans Wiggins tranquille.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal. A very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, enfin.
I do hope that those
Enfin, on est
children
plus le
don't
soir.
get into trouble, Holmes.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here
C'était
it
plus
is.
3 secondes.
And,
Oh. Ah mince.
and this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show.
Mais les éléphants, ça a des poils? Je savais pas du tout.
Duval Brothers, a well-known
Oh.
travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. I
Il existe en
that
vrai,
is
ça, je crois.
exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
Il me semble qu'il existe en vrai, en tout cas ça me dit quelque chose. Le cirque Duval. C'est peut-être Duval pour autre chose, je sais pas.
Hey, you! Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for... Nah. You don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
Je connais pas mon talent de crocheteur.
Nah. I don't think so. Clear off. You're a bit slow to catch on, eh? Get lost.
Ok, se déguiser pour infiltrer le cirque. Oh là là, c'est TP à répétition par contre. Attends, mais j'avais pas ma tenue détente en plus. Mais c'est nul. C'est quoi ça? Donc je suis sur le point de finir le jeu, j'ai pas ça. Ah bah voilà, intérieur, regarde, c'est bloqué aussi, je comprends pas. Écoute, je vais prendre bandit. Hein. On va bien voir. Tiens, d'accord. Je vais avoir l'air le plus ridicule possible. Vas-y. Là, si on me reconnaît... Oh là là, la lourdeur. Mais...
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
N'importe quoi.
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Oh, thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go.
On va au cirque.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles.
Oh!
And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
Charles Foley. Il serait donc là. Celui qui a participé au cambriolage.
Just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues. It couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first.
C'est quoi cette tenue?
No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight, then.
Cette tenue de vieux bandit ringard, c'est incroyable. Qu'est-ce que je dois faire ici? Ah.
This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day. That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people. There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls.
Tiens, connaissant un peu l'humour de ce jeu, je pensais qu'on qu'on aurait pu interagir avec monocycle. C'est pas du tout un monocycle. Quoique. Est-ce que j'ai tout fait ici? Musique exotique.
Charles Foley is inside the marquee.
Je sais pas, j'ai pas l'impression que je puisse y aller. Ah, j'ai pas vu.
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out.
Oh,
The crest of the Honourable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure. Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder.
ok.
The barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were brought here in a hurry.
Après, ils
Powder
vont
kegs,
sortir.
a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the Merry Men quite recently. And these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The Merry Men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
Vas-y, mon pote. Oh, oh 5 trucs. La boucle d'oreille, pas du tout. Au coffre-fort protégé. Clé complexe. Une blessure. Armée, revolver bulldog, assassin. Oh! La bague volée. Méthodique, trophée obtenu. Obtenir 26 portraits de personnages, tiens. Je crois que je les ai tous eus du coup. Alors comment on déplace déjà? Ok, comme ça. Ok guys. Let's go guys. Let's go. Ok guys. Je sais pas pourquoi j'ai ok guys dans ma tête là, je sais même pas pourquoi. J'ai cette expression dans la tête. Et ce qui est sûr c'est que je l'ai. Ouais mais je sais pas trop quoi faire là. Tiens ça. Alors, L2 et R, tout tourné. Ok. Voilà. J'ai juste pas vu qu'on devait faire ça. Triangle. Antiquité disparue, bague en... Ah. Le revolver, bague antique. L'homme à la veste. Charles Foley porte une bague antique, dernier élément des 5 mouflons de Mytilène, ainsi qu'un revolver glissé sous la ceinture. C'est la preuve que Charles Foley est notre mystérieux homme à la veste qui s'est enfui avec agilité après le crime de Half Moon Street. C'est fait, mon pote.
Ah, well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel.
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
Claudication de Turner, non. Prison pour vol.
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
Well, he died 7 days ago in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Gosh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on a corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
N'empêche, sa tenue, elle est ridicule, quoi.
Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures.
Comment ça? Mais c'était pas les 3 trucs qu'on a, là?
This lock is quite old. It shouldn't be much of a challenge.
Ouais, il a l'air quand même d'un certain niveau, quoi. Oh, quoique. Quoique, en vrai. Si. Quand même l'air d'un certain niveau. Pas du tout. Oh, quoique, quand même. Il a l'air quand même d'un certain niveau. Mais j'y étais presque. Hein. Et je me demande, est-ce qu'il n'y a pas moyen de le bloquer là? Ah non, attends. Voilà. Il y a un truc que je ne capte pas. Est-ce que là, voilà. Il est là le truc. Voilà. Ça, on va le descendre un peu. Attends. Voilà. Comme ça, je peux le déplacer un peu comme je veux, lui. Voilà. Et lui, je le mets comme ça. Et voilà. Je sais même pas ce que je fais. Hein. Je le fais par réflexe. Je réfléchissais pas, c'était... Ça se faisait un peu tout seul dans ma tête.
This cupboard is an absolute mess. Several books have fallen from the shelves. It seems as though this cupboard can be moved. I'll give it a try.
Let's try it. What?
So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
Là, par contre, ça va être du haut niveau, je pense. Quoique. L'époque, c'est déjà fini, là. Attends, quoi? Moi, je pensais que ça allait être la plus dure qu'on a jamais fait.
What a surprise. Another
Ah,
lock.
voilà.
And I won't be able to pick it. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out.
Vas-y, mon pote.
Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. A solid rope.
Alors attendez, maintenant que je sais... Maintenant que je sais que c'est Foley le tueur, je vais essayer de trouver... Donc je regarde pour les trophées, puisque je dois faire tous les... Voilà. Parce que du coup j'ai fait... Layton. J'ai vu il y a 3 fins possibles. Layton a fait un double meurtre pour motif personnel que j'ai fait. Et là il y a pour vol. Que je n'avais pas fait. Donc je le fais. Et après il y aura juste la vengeance de Foley. Qui est celle que... Ben on le sait. Layton Chapman a commis un double assassinat sur Half Moon Street motivé par le vol de précieux trésors antiques. Le dernier élément des 5 mouflons des Mytilènes. La bague à tête de mouflon. Reste introuvable. Bah moi je sais où elle est. Absu Chapman. Bien que coupable de meurtre. Ouais voilà. C'est exactement les mêmes réponses par contre après. Donc je fais ça pour le trophée. Au final, elle est un peu longue quand même, hein, parce qu'on a trouvé les 18 indices, mais on continue l'histoire pour essayer de
You
les piéger.
committed a terrible crime, Leighton Chapman. You killed 2 people with the intention of obtaining a set of valuable antiques.
What? That's a mistake. I didn't do it.
However, your brother Wiggins came to me. He needs...
Mr.
Ah non, indice trouvé 1718, tiens. Alors carré pour changer d'avis. Ouais, il m'en manque un dernier indice. Je pensais pas que je... Ah quoique, j'allais dire, je pensais pas que je le finirais en un live. Faut que je me dépêche de le finir, hein, parce que... Il me reste 10 minutes avant de partir. Non, R. Pourquoi je confonds les deux?
This should be useful.
Pour bloquer la porte.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
Oh, pas
The
mal.
door is now...
Il y a quoi avec elle, hein?
The door is now... The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front. I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. I wonder... Oh, that's a...
Voilà, il peut casser. Bah ouais, mais je peux pas le récupérer le truc, je comprends pas.
Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. This is the perfect...
Le tapis, je suppose.
Oh, that's a... Oh, that... Oh, that... The door is now... I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this formidable hammer, but they were unsuccessful. The door...
Je comprends pas trop là. Tiens.
This works very
Bah ouais.
well. No one will escape through this window now.
Effectivement.
The door is... This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. This should be...
Oh, une trappe.
There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out.
Oh, on va mettre un tapis dessus. Bah oui. Quoi, mais... Saoule-moi pas. T'es fou. Et là, on va mettre la corde, du coup, en haut.
This...
Non, pas du tout. Oh, attends. Là, par contre, je peux l'examiner maintenant, la table. Ce que je pouvais pas faire tout à l'heure. Oh.
One step on these beads, and our thief will go flying. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will... Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly.
Il est prêt à mourir en tombant des escaliers. du coup, il pourra pas le tirer, c'est ça? Il pourra pas le récupérer. Quoi? Mais l'autre, il va sauter? Ah, mais oui, il faut que je récupère le tapis, je suis bête. Quoi? Il y a encore quelque chose à faire avec le lustre. Ah, voilà, suspendre.
Now, if
Ouais.
anyone takes the hammer,
Après, c'est pas discret, hein.
if he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down.
Il a pas intérêt à observer la salle avant, quoi. Il récupère le tapis.
This should...
Mais avance. On va le mettre là. Et on est bon. On devrait être bon là.
Now, it's not an open... I should walk carefully here. Now, if a
Boom.
thief runs through the kitchen, the traps for my circus companions, I can leave now. But I'll
Maison hantée,
return
trophée
later
obtenu.
with Charles Foley and his companions.
Attraper les voleurs au manoir de Notting Hill. C'est un peu tôt, non? Pour me le donner ce trophée.
Police! Police!
Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
Oh, you sounded just like a real bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How do you know about that?
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Qui est-ce?
Mycroft, what are
Oh!
you doing here? Did you follow me?
Je l'ai pas reconnu,
it
Mycroft.
may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men.
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers!
Je fais partie de ces flics.
Holmes, that is incredible. The
Ouais.
Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon,
Dear brother. Ah. Triangle, coffre-fort précieux, antiquité disparue. Les antiquités découvertes dans le coffre-fort secret du manoir abandonné de Notting Hill constituent la collection des trésors hellénistiques, volés en 1885. On la croyait disparue. Esprit complexe, trophée obtenu, jouer toutes les conclusions du jeu. Vengeance de Foley. Charles Foley est l'orchestrateur du vol des trésors hellénistiques. Lié au double assassinat de Half Moon Street, Leighton Chapman a été témoin du crime. Absous de Foley. Charles Foley sera incarcéré pour avoir organisé un vol de grande envergure. Puisqu'il n'est pas directement coupable de meurtre, sa peine s'en trouvera allégée. Charles Foley a concocté et mis en œuvre une vengeance machiavélique, sans oublier le vol de précieux trésors antiques. Il mérite la potence. Pour moi, il mérite la potence. Mais vu qu'il y a le trophée où il faut toujours garder la même ligne de conduite, je vais l'absoudre.
Charles Foley, you were a witness to a double murder. You were standing next to Vercotti when Butler fired at your accomplice. The jeweler missed him, but they proceeded to kill each other with simultaneous shots. Even if your intention was to retrieve the stolen treasure, You did not intend to kill. I shall inform Inspector Lestrade of that fact, so your sentence should be the lighter.
You are a fine gentleman, with your fake pity.
I do what I think is right. It is never due to pity. Farewell, Foley. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
C'est quoi ce business non fini? Je sais même pas moi. Oh!
Be
Autant
careful
dedans.
with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh!
Who's there?
That is of
Merryman.
no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No life shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people, sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
Traînée de poudre, jeter la cigarette. Seau d'eau, jeter la cigarette. When
people fight the order, they are too blind to see the consequences that throw society into chaos. I shall stop your actions, but not you. Run. Now!
ils allaient semer le chaos, il y allait avoir des millions qui allaient brûler.
Interested in Russian literature now?
Quite lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
Your truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft. Not I, not Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
Not by me. You created the merry men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more merry men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
Il prépare le 2. Il prépare le 2. Donc là, c'est l'affaire. Votre éthique, miséricordieux. Confrérie du crime, trophée obtenu. Terminé, secret au clair de lune. Homme de caractère, trophée obtenu. Terminé avec l'éthique, témis ou miséricordieux. Pas de place aux conjectures, trophée obtenu. Trouver les bonnes conclusions des 6 cas. Et perfectionniste, trophée obtenu. Récupérer tous les trophées. Ah, très très cool ce jeu. Les enquêtes, elles sont très sympas. C'est qui ça? C'est la femme de... C'est la riche là. À qui son mari a été tué. Et son mari était violent. C'est ça? Mais c'est sympa, il te prépare le 2. En te disant qu'il y a une nouvelle voisine qui va arriver. Au final, on le sait qui c'est, puisque j'ai déjà fait le let's play dessus. Mais vraiment cool comme jeu. Je pense que j'ai aimé les enquêtes, je les ai préférées ici. C'est sûr, dans le 2, l'histoire avec la voisine, justement, tout le jeu. Je sais pas si c'est pas un peu trop... Ah mince. J'ai zappé sans faire exprès. Je savais pas si c'était un peu trop fort, le son. Dans le 2, ce qui est bien, c'est que tout le jeu, t'as le plot avec la voisine. T'as l'histoire avec la voisine, alors que là, t'as pas vraiment d'histoire. T'as l'histoire de l'enquête, mais t'as pas de continuité, etc. Par contre, j'ai trouvé les enquêtes plus sympathiques ici. Il y a plus de décors différents, etc. J'ai préféré les enquêtes du 1. Est-ce que j'ai pas une lettre? Non, pas de lettre. Un menu principal, écoute. C'est... Non, je sais pas. Bah écoute, menu principal. Hein. En tout cas, je vous remercie de m'avoir suivi. C'était très sympathique. Je suis très impatient pour le prochain Sherlock Holmes, qui sera pas des mêmes développeurs. Hein. Il me semble que les développeurs, c'est Frogware. Il me semble que c'est ça leur nom. Ce sera pas des mêmes développeurs. Le prochain Sherlock Holmes, ce sera un open world. Mais il n'empêche que je suis très impatient de le faire. Ce sera... J'espère que ce sera du Day One. Hein. Et en tout cas, je vous remercie de m'avoir suivi. Je vous souhaite une bonne soirée. Je pense pas que je liverai aujourd'hui. J'essayerai de liver demain sur Little Nightmares 2. Donc en tout cas, je vous souhaite une bonne soirée, bon appétit et à la prochaine.